Hey friends, it's Kevin Gehring, your Sacramento, Stockton area realtor and lender, here with this week's weekly real estate report. Let's go right to the chart this week because I've got some stuff that I want you to see. First of all, let's start with our green line. Look at that. For the first time since December of 2020, actually the beginning of December in 2020, we have crossed the 2,000 inventory mark. So there are now 2,034 available homes on the market. Wow. Now, let's consider what normal is. I mean, let's look back over here where we had 7,000 homes a few years ago. Over here, let me get the dates to pull up here. So that was back in 19. We have over 6,000. So, a normal year is well over 5,000. If we scroll back, I mean, we've got to go way back over to here. And this is in the winter time, usually, where we see the valleys. But the peaks are all well over 5,000. So, all right, hooray for that. All right. So one. So two, what else is going on? The spread between the blue, the pending sales, and the amount of available homes here. I keep watching this. Remember, it's inverted right now. It should be the other way around. The green line should be on top and the blue should be on the bottom for a normal market. All right, well, I guess this is normal for us, but what we have here, the spread still remains at over 2,000 homes. Again, I'd like to see that go back the other way. So I'm going to call this the inverted spread. And we don't want to see inverted. We want to see at least equal or go the other way to be more of a balanced market. Taking a look at our gold line. Wow, we can see that home prices continue to skyrocket. And they're just going up and up and up. But here is something that is very interesting. I don't have it in front of me on this chart. In fact, I don't chart it, but I do keep the numbers. And it's not something I share very often. Look over here on my other screen here. But the number of price reductions every month is shocking. Okay, keep in mind, we've got 2,000 homes on the market. And you would think, well, of those 2,000 homes in this crazy seller's market, how many price reductions would you expect to see on a weekly basis? And you would think that it would be a very small number. Maybe 50 would be a lot, maybe 20. I mean, after all, who's actually doing a price reduction in this market? You would be shocked to know that this week we had 458 price reductions. That's like 22% of the homes on the market are reducing in price. All right, and that's normal. So if I go back a couple weeks, last week was 454, week before that, 435, 400, 400, 300, 400. That is kind of a normal number. I back and forth, but it's funny that no matter the inventory, the further back I scroll, usually there's 300 to 400 price reductions every week. So what does that say? Now that's a big deal if you're a buyer out there, right? And so for the most part, I know if you're a buyer, you're out there, you're writing offers, you're going well over asking price, you're just trying to get your offer noticed, you're removing your contingencies ahead of time. A lot of this I don't necessarily believe in, but I understand what's going on, right? But this is to say that a good deal is never based upon what the list price is. And I tell all of my buyers that. It doesn't matter what the buyer is it doesn't matter what the seller is asking for. That number just gives me an idea what's in the seller's head. When I show homes with my buyers and they find a home, they say, Kevin, we love this home. They turn around and look at me, what should we offer? And I say, oh, wait a minute. That's just not an easy thing to answer. And I know that my buyers are usually well-educated and experts in their field and in their search parameters. But I still say we need to take the time. I'm going to go back to my office. I'm going to pull up an AVM. That's an automated valuation model. It's like a mini appraisal. I am going to do an appraisal on my end. It's actually opinion of value, and a real estate agent does it. So I'm going to get my own opinion of value. I'm going to compile the data, and I'm going to bring it back to my buyer and say, look, this is what the house is going to appraise for maximum. This is what I think the market value is worth. This is what I think based upon the list price, what the seller might be thinking based upon this, let's make a logical decision on this. And it's just interesting to note that 22% of the homes out there are in a price reduction mode, and they have been for quite some time. It's not like it's a new number. Shoot, I go back to March 11th when I did the statistics there. We only had 1,600 homes on the market. There were 640 price reductions. So there are a lot of, price reductions. There was 461. So 461, looked at the wrong column, still a very high percentage of homes. So I tell you that because there are still homes out there going for less than the asking price. Not every home goes over the list price. And I caution my sellers with that. They say, well, Kevin, you tell me my house is worth 450. Well, why don't we just go 460 and see what happens? And I have to explain to them, most buyers right now are thinking that whatever the price is the starting price, and it's going to go up from there. So if you put 460, they're instantly going to think, well, shoot, now they probably want 470, 480, and they don't go to that house. Rather than taking the time to do the statistics and run the data and say, well, wait a minute, you're asking 460. I think the house is only worth 450, and we'll offer you 450, and the buyer would have taken 450. I know it's complicated, but this is why you need a professional real estate who really knows the market and not just somebody who's just guessing and opening doors for you. So anyway, what else do we have here? Let's talk about, I can talk about the red line real quick because, wow, the elephant in the room there, I guess. That is going up, up, up. I love to see that. The higher this goes, it means the more people are selling, the more people are buying. And it just makes me happy to think of, especially first-time home buyers getting into their home and getting the keys to their first home in this crazy market. I know that it's difficult. So that's good news. Now we'll talk about rates. What's going on with rates? Well, you want to talk about some great news. A lot of experts thought that we had seen the end of the 2% 30-year fixed. And rates were just going to go up. You missed the boat on the refi, but that is not the case. So for the third week in a row, really it's fourth week in a row, we're under 3%. But for the third week in a row, we've seen a decline. Freddie Mac is reporting that the average 30-year fixed rate went from 2.96 down to 2.94. So it's only 2 basis points difference, but they're reporting that the average points went up back from the 0.6 back to the normal 0.7 where it usually resides. So I'm going to call that a wash. Yes, lost a little bit in rate, went up a little bit in fees, so it all comes out about the same. So really rates kind of stayed about stagnant, which is fantastic news. It gives you, it takes, I think, the pressure off of a buyer who's thinking, well, as rates go up, we lose our buying power. And of course, there's a whole economic side to that we could get into, but I won't, not today anyway. Anyway, that is it for the report for this week. I hope you guys have a great weekend coming up, and I will see you here next week. Take care. Bye.